what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we gonna be talking about Quando, Rondo. Now, Quando, Rondo has been having a tough time out here. I did a story about a week ago talking about that he was gonna have this big show with 4K Trey. It was supposed to be Baby Joe on the ticket. It was supposed to be NBA Michi on the ticket. Man, it was supposed to be so many people on the ticket, but it ended up just being Quando Rondo. And the show ended up being a dud. I mean, everybody is clowning Quando Rondo because of his the fans that showed up, or the lack of fans, I should say, that showed up to the venue. It looked sad. It was legitimately sad to watch. But everybody is chiming in. Now, one of the people who's chiming in is on the opposite side of this whole thing with the whole King Von thing. And I'm talking about Memo600. Now, Memo jumped out the window just to tell the whole social media and his whole fan and following how much he thought, how much he disliked Quando Rondo and made fun of his situation at present B. Now, before we get into the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Hey, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this Quando Rondo concert. His first show back, his comeback show, and it was a straight up dud, man. I gotta give Quando Rondo credit for this, right? At least Quando did his show and did his part and just stayed on stage and made it look like it was a whole bunch of people in the crowd, He was performing like the venue was packed or something like that. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I kind of seen this coming. That's why I didn't jump on it immediately, because when I did the story last week, I said, let me do some due diligence. Let me look up the venue, see where it is, just to see, the exits and everything like that, just so I can get an idea if something does happen. Because for those of you who don't know, everybody has been anticipating Quando Rondo doing a comeback show because the last show ended in such a spectacular fashion. What I mean is, it got shut down by the mayor of Macon because he didn't want to see anything bad happen because they had just had a shooting the night before. So they shut down Quando Rondo's show in Macon. Then he had other shows that had been shut down. And this was supposed to be the splashback. This was supposed to be the big deal. This was supposed to be the show that set his career on the trajectory to get back in the rap game and start seeing them big bucks and big shows come in. And man, it fell on deaf ears if it didn't, man. Guys, I mean, it was light in there, to say, that's putting it lightly. It was super light in there. I'm talking about, you could see from end to end of the club, and I don't even know who Quando Rondo was performing in front of, to be honest. It was bad, man. It was bad. But after the situation that he had last night, people are chiming in. Everybody is talking about it. But when you think about it, it only makes sense, man. It only makes sense that this happened. Because who in their right mind will want to put themselves in clear and present danger by going to a Quando Rondo show? Even if all the rumors were wrong, and I'm about to shoot him a little bit of bail here in a second. Even if all the rumors were wrong, and that nobody would come out and do anything, because nobody did. To be honest, nobody did anything. Nobody showed up to the concert. It wasn't like a whole bunch of people was outside with OTF shirts on. Actually, you see more footage of Quando Rondo and his homeboys getting ready to go to the show, and they look unbothered, man. They look like they going to a regular show, and it ain't no thing.
Wow. Come on. Knew you were rocking out too hard. Can't wear that white, cuz. Come on, man. I got that one. Walk out of the camera. Hold on now. Hold up, Wop. Hold on now, come on now. Okay, yeah. Oh, good, cut.
Okay, so like you see in those video clips, man, Quando Rondo and his crew were having a great time. At the show, before the show, it's just that when the video leaked of how empty it was in the venue, everybody, started talking bad about Quando Rondo and were clowning the situation. Because, I mean, for this to be his comeback show, after all that time, I mean, since November, you know what I mean? That's a long time. That's 6 months now. Everybody thought it would be packed. Everybody thought it might be some craziness that goes down. Luckily, it was no craziness that went down, but it was not packed either. And one person who jumped out and wanted to say something about that was Memo600. Now, let's not forget, Memo600 has been on the offensive since back in November. Now, when I say offensive, I'm talking about he's gone over the line and talked about this whole situation in depth and in sneak diss. Remember, Memo600 is a guy who went down to Savannah and shot a video in allegedly Quando, Rondo, and Lil Tim's hood. So Memo600 took to social media and made this post right here. Now, Memo600 took to social media and he said this. He said, folks had 4 people at his show, ain't make a dollar, laughing emoji. Matter of fact, you owe the venue, nah. Laughing emoji, man. And that hits hard because, to be honest, on the other side of things, and I hate to get into this clicking up thing, but it's where we're at in hip hop right now. There's different clicks clicking up, but of course Memo is Lil Durk's artist, so of course he's on that side. So on the other side of things, Lil Durk and them are selling out huge venues. I mean, they ain't selling out like stadiums or anything like that, but they're selling out the next best thing, you know what I mean, or the next level down. And that, I mean, him and Pooh Shiesty are tearing it up, man. On the other side, they really doing big numbers. And you can see Memo in the footage. He's there with Lil Durk performing some of the OTF songs, man. It's a whole nother story on their side, man. It's just like big shows. It's like Lil Durk has skyrocketed to a whole different stratosphere of artists. Like, he's in a whole nother talk. You know, the kind of numbers Lil Durk is doing is ridiculous, you know? And the kind of shows that he's booking and how often he's being booked and probably what he's getting is the exact opposite of what you see with Quando Rondo. And it kind of makes it look sad. Not to say that Quando Rondo's in a sad situation. I'm sure he's got more money than everybody, than a lot of people. But compared to the cats in the rap game that he's in opposition with, man, it don't look good because they really over there winning, man. They really over there winning. Now, Quando Rondo took this on the chin, and he even talked to the audience when he was at the show. Now, that video, I'm not sure who owns that, so I'm not going to play that, but it's just another telltale sign that, man, he might need to tighten up on making some new music or something like that to get their fans back interested, because I watched this situation closely, and he did some trolling before the show. I'm not going to lie, posting a whole bunch of pictures of Lil Tim, like, right before the show. It was just a lot, man. He was doing some trolling, and I don't think that's going to lead to a positive effect if he's trying to pack them stadiums and really trying to book some shows out here. Now, he did prove that he could have a show without any problems. Like, there's no problems at his shows. That's not going to happen, man. It ain't going to go down like that. Many people have talked about that. You know, it's not going to be those type of situations. So, I mean, it's obvious he could book a show now. Hopefully, man, his next couple of shows, the turnout looks a little bit better. But, man, fans still might be scared that something might happen. So, and he even addressed that himself. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Memo is dead wrong for kicking Quando Rondo while he's down? Because we got to think about this. Quando Rondo had no problem making King Von diss songs after King Von passed away. So I don't think just a harmless post on social media about his show not being packed does the same. You know, that's not even apples for apples. You know what I mean? But what do you guys think about Quando Rondo booking shows in the future? Do you think it's a done deal, or maybe he needs to work on some new songs or something like that? And what can help him out in the future, if anything? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.